Hi, this is Cesia-Lab3. I'm going to be doing lab 3. I'm going to create a folder. And let's call this lab 3. Okay, so we're going to be doing question number 1. And it's just comparing 3 numbers, and then we're going to put up the largest number. Okay, first we need to import the dialog boxes. So it would be the JavaX, swing, and J option, P. Okay, this is just a public class, and this is our main method. Now we can start with the question. First of all, we need to declare our variables. So I'm gonna type string input, and this will hold the user input. The next is integers number 1. So we're gonna be comparing 3 numbers. Okay. Now we can take our variable input, and so that it's gonna allow the user to type in the numbers, the values that they want to compare. Excuse me. P, J option P, and show input dialog. And enter your first number, semicolon. Now we can grab our number 1 variable, our first variable, and we need to convert that to integer. And then on the parentheses, we need to put our user's input. So this was gonna hold a number 1, and then we're gonna be repeating the same method for number 2. So we're gonna grab the variable input, P, show input, dialog, enter your second value. I suppose. And we're gonna convert the number 2 to an integer. Input. Okay. And now we can continue with number 3. Same method. Input equals J option. P, show input, dialog, enter your third value. Okay. And variable number 3 equals integer, parse, parenthesis input. Now we're gonna start with the if and else statements. And that's just gonna allow us to compare our values. Okay, so first, if number, the first value is greater than number 2, and let's not forget the number 3, we need to compare number 1 with the value, the first value with the third value. So is number 1 is greater than number 2, or number 1, number 3, parentheses, J option, pane, show message, dialogue, no, and then we just gonna give a descriptive message, which will be number 1 is the largest value. Let's put it like that. Okay, now else if okay, so now we need to compare the number 2 is if it's greater than number 1, and it has to be greater than number 3, excuse me, J option, pane, and that's gonna put out that the number 2 value is the largest value. Dialog, which is number 2 is the largest value. Okay, and if all this is false, then it will give us a dialog saying that number 3 is the largest number. So else, J option, pane, show message, dialog, it will give us number 3 is the largest value. Okay, and system exit so we won't get anything in return. Okay, and let's run this. Okay, enter your first value. Let's say the first value is 2, there is 7, and the last value is 10. 10 is the largest value, which is correct. Let's run another one. 2, 15, and 1. And 15 is the largest value, so that's question 1. Okay, now I'm gonna start with question number 2, which is the vowel check. And we need to import our G option from the Java library. So we just gonna type import Java swing J option pane semicolon. Okay, and this is just saying our lab is publicly accessed, and this is our main method. Okay, now we can start creating our variables. First, we need to put the variable name, and that's gonna allow the user input their name that we need to inspect. So its name equals J option pane show input dialog, and we're gonna say enter a name. Okay, and now we need to create a new variable for, it's gonna be for characters first letter equals, and then we're gonna grab this variable name because that's the variable that the input that we're gonna inspect the first letter. So name dot chart at, and we're gonna put 0 because 0 represents the first position and 1 will be representing the second position. Okay, now we can start vowel check. Okay, so it will be like if first letter equals uppercase A option dot P show message dialog, and we will put this one's pane, the name, enter, starts with a vowel, the first letter is A. Okay, now we're gonna do the other vowel, so it's A, E is next. So else if first letter equals, and we're gonna put 2 equal signs to let the program know that is it's placing the value. So A, E, E, J option, pane, show, message, dialog, and it will be the same as what we put on A. So it will be like the name enter starts with a vowel. The first letter is E. Okay. else if first letter equals uppercase I, it should prompt out the name, enter, starts with a vowel. The first letter is I. Okay. And then we're gonna continue with the other vowels. Equals with the uppercase O. The names, enter, starts with a vowel. The first letter is O. Okay. And then the U now. First letter equals, if it equals U, chaos, pane, show message, dialog, the name, enter, starts with a vowel. The first letter is U. And semicolon to indicate it's the end of the statement. Okay, and then now we're gonna close this body of the if. Then we're gonna go down, and else we're gonna print, if it doesn't contain a vowel, we're gonna print the name enter does not contain the vowel, and it's gonna print out the first letter of the name. So message dialogue, the name enter does not start with a vowel. The first letter is, and now to find the first letter that the name they inputted, we're gonna graph this value. So it's gonna be name dot char at and 0. And then semicolon, and then that's the end of that body of else. Down, we're gonna type system exit, so we won't get anything in return. And now we can run the system, the program. Okay. Enter name. We're gonna enter Penelope. And it works. The name enter does not start with a vowel. The first letter is P. And let's try another one with one of the vowels. Let's put Anna. The name enter starts with a vowel. Okay, so that works. That's question number 2. Okay, now we're gonna start with question number 3. And it's gonna be the same as question number 2, but instead of using if and else statements, we're gonna be using switch statements. This is just a little bit faster. Question 3, switch statements. Okay, and now we can start with our code. It's the same as question number 2. We need to put the string name to hold the user name being entered, and name equals J option pane show input dialog that will allow them enter a name. And now we need to inspect the first letter, so it will be character. We're gonna be naming a new variable, so it's char first letter equals name. We're gonna grab the variable name, put it here. So that's why the program's gonna be inspecting at 0. Now we can start vowel checking. Vowel check. So it's gonna be switch first letter braces. So the first case we'll be looking at as case A. If it starts with a uppercase A, we're gonna type J option pane show message dialog, where we're gonna let them see the name enter starts with a vowel. The first letter is A. Okay, and since we are using switch, the case needs to hold this statement, this line break, to show it's the end of that case. So now we can check the other vowels, which will be case E, and the same champagne. Starts with a vowel. The first letter is E. Then break. And case I. The name enter starts with a vowel. The first letter is I. Break. Case O. Message dialog. The name enters start The first letter is O, and break. Okay, now we can go to case view. Show your option, paint, show message, dialogue, name enter, start, with a vowel. The first letter is U. Okay. Break. And now default. That just means if the name doesn't start with a vowel, it's gonna show them the first letter it starts with. The name enter does not start with a vowel. The first letter is, and then it's the same. We're gonna put name, char, add 0, enter. Okay, and then under this, we're gonna type system exit. And let's test the program. Enter a name. Let's put Nadia. Okay, so the name enter does not start with a vowel. The first letter is N. Okay, let's try again. Enter a name. Let's put Edwin. The name enter starts with a vowel. The first letter is E, so it works. That's question number 3. Okay, so now we're gonna be starting with question number 4. Okay, and first we're gonna import the Java Swing J option. Okay, and now we can start with the variables. We're gonna be decreating our variables. So string input, and this will hold the user input of their speed, and speed, variable speed user, it's gonna hold it. And there's a speed limit which is 45, so we're gonna create a constant variable. So we're gonna type final integer speed limit, which equals 45, then input Okay. J option P dot show input dialog, and we gonna say enter your speed, and we're gonna convert that string to an integer. Input. Okay. Now we need to calculate. This is gonna allow us. This is what's gonna give us our the difference between the how fast that we're going subtracted by the speed limit equals speed user minus speed limit. Now we're gonna compare the speeds. So if the over limit is greater or equal to gonna equal to okay, so we're gonna be comparing the over limit with a 0, and it has to be also. So we're gonna put the and over limit to 5. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna say J option P dot show message dialog no, we're gonna put you are driving and that's gonna show the difference. Miles per hour more than the speed limit. And which will be no ticket. Okay. Yeah, no ticket. So now we can continue with the other. If over limit is less than or equal to 5 and over limit is greater than 10, so the increment is 5 miles per hour. J option, pane, show message dialogue. No, you are driving over limit miles per hour more than the speed limit, and we're gonna put your ticket will be I believe that's 120. Yes, 120. Okay, and then another else if over limit is less than or equal to 10 and over limit is less than 15. J option, pane, show message dialogue. And we're gonna put you are driving over limit miles per hour more than the speed limit. So your ticket will be 160, I do believe. Let's double check. 160. Yes. Now we can do another else if statement. Okay, over limit is said 20. J option, pane, show message dialogue. No, you are driving over limit miles per hour more than the speed limit. Your ticket will be, I believe it's 200. 200. Okay, another else if over limit is greater than or equal to 20. J option, pane, show message dialogue. You are driving over limit miles per hour more than the speed limit, your ticket will be $500 and driving privileges will be suspended. Okay, and let's close that one. System exit. Okay, let's run this program. Enter your speed, 50. This one. Okay, so that should be it. No ticket. Let's try another test. Let's say the driver is driving at 90. You're driving 45 miles per hour, more than the speed limit. Your ticket will be 500. Okay, it worked. Let's do another test. Let's say the driver is driving at 65, 66. Okay, so it works. And let's try 57. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start with question number 5 now. It will be the same as question 4, but with a switch statement. We need to import javax swing.go option and okay. What's it called? String input. So hold the user speed they integer speed user. This will contain what the user put into the dialog box. Integer speed limit, which will equal 45. This needs to be fine because it's a constant. show input dialog. Enter your speed. Put integer.parse. It's gonna convert that. Now we need to calculate. So we need to get another variable, which would be over limit equals the speed user minus the speed limit. And since we are using the switch, statement, so we cannot put any math operators. Let's see. Let's grab over limit divided by 5, since it's each ticket levels is going by 5 miles per hour. So let's do that one. Switch ticket case. Case 0. J option name show message dialog. You are driving over limit miles per hour more than the speed limit, and we're gonna put no ticket. So this should be representing 0 to 5 miles per hour. And then we need to break it in case. Yes. Would be J option show message dialog. And it will be the same. We're just gonna copy this to down here. Okay, we're not gonna do that again. and your ticket will be 120. And then it's gonna be break. It's net bean, so the spaces wouldn't matter. Let's verify that. 120, okay. So next case, okay, so this one represents 5 to 10 miles per hour. This should represent 10 to 15 miles per hour. J option, pane, show message, dialogue. And you are driving. We're gonna graph the difference in miles per hour more than the speed limit. And your ticket will be 160. Break. Case 3. Okay, so this, I forgot to comment, is integer division. So let's say someone's trying 13. It's gonna be divided by 10, which is gonna come out it's gonna come out to 2. So it's gonna be in this case. Okay. So this one represents 15 to 20 miles per hour. Miles per hour more than the speed limit. Your ticket will be $200, which will be 15 to 20 is 200. Now this one's gonna be over 20. If number is greater than 20. Now default. You are driving much more than the speed limit. Your ticket will be $500, and your driving privileges are suspended. Break. And let's close the switch. Okay. Let's go down system exit 2. Okay, let's test this. This is a string. Okay, it should be working now. 52. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, let's try another one. 47. Okay, so it works. That's lab 3. Thank you.